नमस्कार दोस्तों, फर्स्ट ट्रेड में आपका स्वागत है। यह है हमारा एपिसोड 28। आज हम बात करेंगे एक ऐसे बुलिश रिवर्सल पैटर्न की जो बहुत कम ट्रेडर्स पहचान पाते हैं, हॉर्न बॉटम पैटर्न। ये पैटर्न अक्सर मार्केट के पैनिक फेज के बाद बनता है, जब रिटेल इन्वेस्टर्स डर के मारे सेलिंग कर रहे होते हैं और स्मार्ट मनी क्वाइटली अक्यूमुलेशन कर रही होती है। आज हम जानेंगे कि हॉर्न बॉटम क्या है, कैसे आइडेंटिफाई करें और कैसे ये पैटर्न 35% तक की एवरेज रैली का सिग्नल दे सकता है। सोचिए, मार्केट में अचानक पैनिक आ जाता है, हर तरफ सेलिंग ही सेलिंग, रिटेल ट्रेडर्स एग्जिट कर रहे हैं, फियर अपने पीक पर है, लेकिन इसी पैनिक के बीच स्मार्ट मनी अपॉर्चुनिटी देख रही होती है। जब रिटेल ट्रेडर्स अपने पोर्टफोलियो लिक्विडेट करते हैं, तब इंस्टीट्यूशंस मैसिव स्केल पर शेयर खरीदते हैं। ये एक्सट्रीम फियर उनके एक्यूमुलेशन के लिए सबसे जरूरी कंडीशन है। लेकिन सवाल है, स्मार्ट मनी को कैसे पता चलता है कि बॉटम पास है?
This chart shows that footprint. On the weekly time frame, two massive downward spikes, separated by a single week, mirror an upside-down steer's horn. The first deep drop flushes out weak hands. The second spike occurs 1 week later, as institutions quietly absorb every surrendered share. After that second bottom completes, the selling pressure is exhausted. Institutional demand overtakes the remaining retail supply, driving the price upward. The geometry of these spikes is not accidental. It provides a visual boundary for the accumulation phase, showing us exactly where demand began to neutralize panic selling. This chart shows the strict validation rules. First, use a weekly time frame. Second, exactly a 1-week gap separates the two deep spikes. Third, the center week's low must remain significantly higher than the horn bottoms. The inverted U-shape must be intact. The pattern also demands clear visibility. It needs to stand isolated at the end of a downward trend, entirely visible in the chart without being buried inside a choppy, descending trading range. Once you find the shape, you wait. The pattern only confirms when the price closes above the highest high of the entire 3-week structure. Entering a trade without waiting for this confirmation breakout is a common error. But once confirmed, do the statistics suggest this pattern leads to a reliable reversal? This chart shows a horn failure. Notice previous downward spikes marked L. A history of erratic spikes indicates the new horn is just volatility, not a unique institutional event. Also, the descending triangle forming above the horn reveals institutional distribution and heavy overhead resistance. However, when the structure is clean, statistical performance is notable. In a bull market, horn bottoms yield an average rise of 35%. In a bear market, the rise averages 27%. Most significantly, break-even failure rates are just 9% and 7%. These figures suggest that when the pattern forms correctly, the resulting reversal carries a high probability of success, reflecting a genuine shift in institutional positioning. After the breakout, the price will sometimes drop back to the breakout line. This is a throwback, and research indicates this behavior typically correlates with a weaker overall move. Heavy breakout volume acts as a preventative measure against throwbacks. A trading surge suggests demand is strong enough to sustain momentum without a retest. सबसे powerful horn bottoms में ये characteristics मिलती है. First, they are tall patterns. Second, there is a large price difference between the two horn lows. And finally, the right horn forms an inside weak, meaning its range is contained within the left horn. To calculate a price target, measure the vertical height from the lowest low to the highest high of the pattern. You then project that same distance upward from the breakout point. Applying these specific filters shifts the odds. By selecting for tall patterns and heavy breakout volume, the probability of capturing a sustained upward move increases. This chart shows why defensive planning is vital. Notice the retest of horn low area. Prices drop near the pattern's absolute bottom before reversing. Since prices frequently re-examine lows to absorb liquidity, placing a stop-loss $1 below the twin horns ensures survival. Horn bottom visualizes a shift in market sentiment. It marks the point where panic selling loses its momentum and institutional buying provides the necessary support for a reversal. Horn bottom pattern market psychology का एक powerful signal है. ये बताता कि panic selling खत्म हो रही है और accumulation phase शुरू हो सकता है. लेकिन सिर्फ पैटर्न देखकर ट्रेड मत लीजिए. कंफर्मेशन, वॉल्यूम और रिस्क मैनेजमेंट को हमेशा प्रायोरिटी दीजिए. उम्मीद है आज का एपिसोड 28 आपको पसंद आया होगा। अगर वीडियो से कुछ नया सीखने को मिला हो तो वीडियो को लाइक करिए और फर्स्ट ट्रेड चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करना बिल्कुल ना भूलें। मिलते हैं हम अगले एपिसोड में। जय हिंद।
Success in trading isn't about finding a perfect pattern. It's about identifying shifts in probability and managing the associated risk.